First of all, I just want to start off by thanking everybody for coming out tonight. Sister and I were just talking about that we definitely have a lot more parents and athletes coming out for the award banquet that we did last season. I also want to thank all the parents. This is my 5th year of coaching. First year as a co-head coach. This is by far the most supportive group of parents I've ever worked with. Both with the sprinters and outside of my own group of athletes, just all across the board, we have tremendous support for all the meets, volunteering, and it's tough to kind of ask your kid to show up, on Thursday and then on Saturday, trying to coordinate transportation, getting your kid there on time. For some of the invitationals, for some of the athletes, they were just competing in one event, and sometimes that's right in the middle of the day. I don't think I heard one complaint all year long, either from the parents or the athletes. And I just want to thank everybody, and again, thank you. I'm going to start off on the opposite end. So, Simon, you want to go ahead and step up? Come on. So I have an interesting mix of athletes. I have very loud, outspoken athletes, and I've got the super quiet athletes. I don't have anybody that I can think of that's kind of in the middle. It's like the polar opposites. Simon, if you can tell, is very quiet. But Simon definitely, he worked hard all season long. He's one of the athletes where he was doing multiple events. It came down to meet days where, as a freshman, we were trying to find a spot for him, and he really seemed to shine in a lot of areas, so it was tough because some weeks he was working with the spinners, other weeks he was working with the hurdlers. He was on our relay teams for the 4x4, and as far as running goes on the sprint side, the 400 meters is probably one of the toughest races to run in track and field. And I think at the beginning of the season, when I was just first getting to know Simon, I had him in the 400, and then he had him run the 110 hurdles. And for you that don't know, it's back-to-back. And so he would run the entire lap and turn around and go run the hurdles, and he never complained once. And it was after, I think the second time he did it, I saw how tired that he was, and I was like, yeah, let's not do that again. So it came down to every week we kind of had to pick and choose where he fit in best. But Simon had a great year this year. He's one of our very good athletes that was able to qualify and compete in the Frost Soft Invitational. It's kind of the premier invitational for the younger athletes, and he really came along and hit his times when he needed to, and just continued to work hard. Thank you, Simon. All right, Seth. Seth is also, he's Simon's partner in crime. Whoever he was, Simon was. Again, very quiet. Seth came out to us. He was a freshman this year. Very beginning of the year, he, I had a couple of coaches say, we got this kid, he's been training with the distance guys. And then he came working out with me, and I sent him over to the hurdles. And again, another versatile athlete that if you asked him to do it, he would do it. Working out with the distance guys, I thought, he'd be a perfect fit because he showed a little speed for the 400. And I think at the very beginning of the season, he was up for it. And then he saw how much pain the other guys were going through, and he was like, I need to go to the rivers. But it's all a matter of just helping him build his confidence a little bit. I think Seth has a bright future. He's also one of our jumpers here at school. Again, he's one of those athletes where if you ask him to do it, he would do it. And I'm glad to have him on the team. Alina. Alina is Simon's twin. She is the wild one of the group. Alina started off the hurdles very early on in the season. athletes where I remember from day one of tryouts. She just, you talked to her, and if you asked her to try one event or the next, she was all over it. Fortunately for her, she had an injury super early on in the season. It was something that we just kind of battled all throughout the season. So I'm excited to see her run because I know that she obviously has the genes. And I would love to have her back next season. I look forward to her upcoming season. Brianna is a freshman as well. She is one of, again, as you can tell, she's got a lot of words all the time. Not really. She, very tough athlete. The 400 again, one of the toughest races to run. Week in, week out, she ran it every single time. And when it came down to the 4x4, and if I needed an athlete to step in and fill that role, she, very quietly volunteered. And she ran with a tough group of girls, very competitive. This year, the 400 was really stacked across the board as far as all of our competitors and the other schools in the county. But Brianna's shows a lot of promise, and I'm excited to continue to work with her. Mr. Lake came out to us for the first time this year. From day one, he just kind of stuck out because he kind of had a sweet afro going on. You can tell that every day he was out there, he enjoyed being out there, he worked really hard. Steven also had a leg injury. Steven was also the type of kid where he wouldn't let that slow him down. He continued to work and showed up every single day despite his injury. And we worked closely with our athletic director, Sam, to kind of get him back on the track. It wasn't until late in the season that we were able to get him in a few races. And I would stick him in a race, and the next week he's like, when am I running? I'm like, just the one race. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, calm down. He was so eager to get on the track. He worked so hard. I'll take 10 Steven Lakes all day long.